Hello,
Hey, everybody.
welcome. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Welcome to 6 Steps to Go from Full-Time to Freedom. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone that showed up live, if you're catching the replay, welcome. So glad that you're here. And honestly, congratulations for taking this step and accountability for yourself to at least start thinking about it and exploring the opportunities that are out there for you. So let me just go through quickly. I guess we can introduce ourselves first. I'm Sarah. I'm the owner of Rebel Office. I'm here with Diana Tapia.
Hi, everyone. This is me, the person who yelled at the beginning of the of the recording.
We're going to have fun today, guys. Okay, so I just want to run through the agenda, everything we're going to go through today, and then we'll give a bit more introductions into who we are, why we can even talk to you about this, our own stories, kind of transitioning from full-time to freedom, and then we'll jump right on in. So yeah, what did I say? Agenda first. So introductions, then we want to get to know you guys. We want to know why you're here, what got you interested in starting to think about this transition in your life. And then we'll go through the 6 steps, which is why you're here. And then at the end, we'll do a quick Q&A session to answer any questions that you guys have, help you out with any situations that you might be going through. And then we have something super special at the end that we want to share with you that we're very excited about. So let's jump in. I'll hand it over first to Diana to give her introduction about why she became an entrepreneur and what the hardest thing was that she experienced.
Hello, everybody. First of all, again, thanks for joining this call. I'm very happy to be able to share all about these 6 steps with you. And well, just as a quick introduction, I'm Diana Tapia, and I'm a transition strategist, and I'm also the founder of the Worldwide Immigrants Association. And what I do is to help my clients go through changes or transition in a more natural and relaxing way without feeling overwhelmed and insecure. And, you have to battle so much when you're going from one situation to another. So this is my job. And I enjoy it so much because when I see the faces of my clients figuring out that it wasn't as complicated that it looked like, that makes my life so, so happy. So this is what I do. I've been, let's say, an entrepreneur for a little bit more than 2 years. And actually, everything started to roll out better since a year before. It's going to be a year, actually. For the WIA, for the Worldwide Immigrants Association. And the reason why I became an entrepreneur was because it's not that I wasn't happy at my job. I actually had a very fulfilling experience in my job. But the thing is that I saw other people going through so many struggles. First, because as you can notice, I'm an immigrant and I've been living in Canada for more than 8 years. So when I saw other people coming from other countries, feeling all those insecurities and feeling so uncertain on their path and in the professional areas, that I started helping them. So long story short, I was actually handling 2 jobs at the same time, my 9 to 5 job, and this other one, which was all about volunteering on how to help people integrate, assimilate, create a CV, go for an interview, etc. Adapt to the new life. So this is why I decided to take it seriously and just do what it meant, like what meant more to me, So I started this adventure, and I believe the hardest part of it was actually not having the guidance on how to do the transition, to quit actually, and to go and start my business. And it is not that I'm trying to make it fit into this topic today, but it actually was very hard for me to take the decision of, okay, so now this is going to be my 9 to 5. I'm going to leave corporate, and now I'm responsible of this business. So this was my hardest thing. And if you are in that situation right now, I totally understand you. So thank you again for being here. And I will let Sarah to introduce herself again and tell us about her experience as well.
Yeah, for sure. And like Diana said, and it's going to sound too with my hardest thing that it fits into what we're going to talk about today, but that's why we've created today, because we've been in your situation and we know we've gone through the hard stuff so that you don't have to. So yeah, that's kind of what today is all about, is sharing our own experiences in a way that's actually effective for you. So like I said, I'm Sarah Williams. I'm the owner of Rebel Office, which is an online platform for entrepreneurs to connect and learn and grow. So it's a resource library, community, all of that fun stuff into one. I became an entrepreneur because I have a very different story than Diana. I was not in a toxic work environment, but there were just some ethical things that didn't really match with my own that were happening. Right out of university, I went in to work for a consulting firm, and I was only there for like 8 months. Like, I was still very new before I became an entrepreneur. And I just realized or started to think that, okay, well, maybe I can do business differently. Maybe I can run a better business. And at the time, I was doing graphic design jobs on the side, and they were consistent and constant. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just do that full time. And since then, that was a long time ago, almost 4 years ago now. I've seen a lot of evolution since then. But yeah, that's definitely why. I think I was just feeling like this can't be the way that business is done. And it just kind of grew from there. And I think my hardest thing becoming an entrepreneur was the loneliness and feeling like I wasn't supported. It's very hard to explain to family and friends why you are choosing to leave your secure job and go do something that has no guarantees or no stable income. And really, you have to constantly defend yourself and tell everyone that, no, actually, I'm betting on myself. I believe in myself. So really having that support system around me and the people to go to that understood. I didn't have that for a really long time in Rebel Office. It was really only until about 2 years ago that I felt like I actually had people in my community that I could go to and be totally honest with and freak out to and celebrate with. And it really has transformed Rebel Office and pushed it so much further. So yeah, not having that at the beginning was definitely the toughest part for me. Okay, so we would love to hear you guys, anyone live here. What brings you here? Who are you? What's your experience? And if you have any comments on us, on our stories, if there's anything you've experienced that's similar to that, we would love to talk with you guys about it and just get to know why you're here, who you are. And if not, if you guys are feeling shy today, or if you're working and which is very possible. We had a few of those last time with people that just are listening to us and can't talk. Then that's totally fine too. I'm currently working full-time, transitioning to my own business. Yeah, which is what this is for. So today's going to be perfect for you, Catherine. I work on my business before and after work.
Wow,
tough, yeah. But yeah, but that's, yeah.
But that shows a lot, because for you to be able to succeed in this adventure, you must be clear that, well, we are going to talk about that more or less first now, but you have to be sure of the priorities that you have. And if you are working on your business before and after work, that's excellent for you. At least you're already showing up for your business and taking it seriously, which is great. And well, as Sarah was saying, don't forget there's the chat box. So if you're hitting under the desk, listening to ourselves talking, don't worry, we understand that. But please let us know if you have any comments or questions. We will answer them as we speak. Okay, so, well, shall I start?
Yeah, actually, that's a perfect transition into the very first step. So
thanks, Catherine. So the very first step, I believe this is the most important one in all the process of becoming an entrepreneur from your full-time to freedom. And well, it is not the first step or the most important one. I believe the most important one is the last one in this conversation. But well, it's one of the most important ones because it's how you're going to start building your business, knowing why and your priorities. In these priorities, you first of all have to know certainly why you are building this business. Is it because you might be super angry at your job and you no longer like it? Or is it because you feel inspired by other people who are actually creating their own businesses? Or is it because you're not longer satisfied and you feel like your creativity can go further than what you're doing right now? Or you're not feeling appreciated or valued at the things that you're doing right now? And the most typical is that I'm producing money for another person instead of producing it for myself. But as well, you have to think again and again and ask your question, why do I want to create this business again and again? So you can have as many answers as possible. And you with this exercise, you will understand if you really want to become an entrepreneur, or if this is just a solution that you're looking at in this moment that is flashing at you, but it is really not the solution to feeling overwhelmed or not valued in your job, etc. So the most that you ask yourself why, the better it will be for you to understand the meaning of the impulse that is coming out from you on establishing a business. And then in these priorities, I'm going to share this with you very quick. In these priorities, you will have to also check the things that you are ready to do, the things that you're ready to stop doing, the things that you're ready to have, and the things that you're ready to stop having. And that's very important because sometimes we don't think about those just because we are guided by the impulse. We are guided by what we are wanting in that moment, and we're not really focusing on the things that we're going to stop doing, which is, I don't know, going to Starbucks every morning and spend $5 in a latte, instead of like keeping that money to be able to invest it in my business, or having kind of debts or a credit to actually start establishing your business, because that's reality and you cannot avoid those things. Or starting doing, like Catherine was saying, like waking up earlier and working on your business and going back, eating your dinner and going back to working on your business. So those things, those questions have to be very clear for you to figure out your priorities in your time, your life, your schedule, your way of living, your lifestyle, etc. And please, in these priorities, never forget other people's priorities. If you're a parent, if you're a husband or a wife, or you live with someone else, never forget about their priorities, because this decision of becoming an entrepreneur involves other people around you. And you need to have this network very safe and very happy, let's say, because they are going to be your support system. So, for example, if you promised a vacation, go to that vacation. Don't use that money to invest in your business, because this is something that you said that you were going to do. Or other needs. I'm talking about school, medical situations, other things that might represent a risk in other areas of your life and that involve other people in your life. So take responsibility as well on those priorities of other people and take care and take them in consideration. And then you will find, after all this, the negotiables and the non-negotiables. Your negotiables will be like, hey, so I promised the vacation, but instead of going to Disneyland, let's go somewhere less expensive. And try to solve all those things and put them in risk. So again, check on your priorities, check on your why, and I believe those are the main, the basis of establishing your business. so it can be a solid building that you start building.
Yeah, I love that. I think to kind of what on Diana was saying, there are going to be both sacrifices and rewards that you have no idea that you're going to make and receive. But you can mitigate that risk, right? You can be prepared for those things by having your business going or working or starting to work on the sidelines before you actually leave your job, so that it's already starting to work for you. And you can have two things going so that it's not such a shock and such a jump when you actually do decide to put in your 2 weeks notice. Which goes on to step 2, which is your new business. And that's not to say that step 2 and all of these you don't need to do in this specific order. But I'm bringing in your new business model now and thinking about what your business is going to be, because it is good to start thinking about that at the beginning. So once you're very clear on what your priorities are, then you can jump into, okay, so now what does my business even look like? How can I start putting the action steps in, and how can I start planning for this now as I work through the other stuff as well? So your new business, let me just share my screen too. I've got some slides here for you. Can you guys see that? That's okay. So your new business, if you aren't really sure about where to even start, so this is for people that don't know yet what they actually want to be doing, or kind of have an idea, but there's nothing concrete really there for them, or in your brains yet, then there's a couple things you can do. So first, think about what you actually love doing. What are you really good at? You want to kind of combine that and put it with what do people actually need out in the market. And honestly, most businesses with entrepreneurs start because there's a need for themselves and they can't find it, so they create it themselves. So that's one way that you can look for inspiration in what your new business idea can actually be. So if you start with, okay, what do you love doing? What's out there that people are looking for? And then how can you put that together? Right in the middle of that, where that star is your sweet spot. So this is also where you can start doing market research, and don't be afraid by that word or that term. Market research is really just getting out there and talking to people and saying, oh, I kind of have this idea. What do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? And you can start with your closest network, start with your family, start with your friends. And then you can start to maybe join an entrepreneurship group and talk to and connect with some people in there and say, yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking of doing. What do you think about this? And just kind of get feedback from everyone to really reinforce and build your business. That said, a lot of people, especially when they're going from a full-time job, want to make sure that they'll be able to match their full-time income as soon as possible. And this also goes back to what Diana was saying about priorities. If you know, and I would strongly be prepared, we're here to prepare you and be honest with you that you might not make your full-time income right away. You can, it's possible, but most times that's not the case. So be prepared for a little bit of an income cut at first. That said, the good thing about online business and entrepreneurship in general, whatever business you're starting with, you're in control of the income that you want. So it might take a little bit, but you can also make way more than you ever would in a full-time job eventually. So there is a trade-off, and there is that commitment up front, which goes back to priorities. But in order to think about the actual structure of your business and the services that you're going to be offering, think about what your income goals are. So for example, say your income goal is $80,000 a year. That's what you want to bring in from your business right now. And obviously this can change, this can grow, this can shrink, whatever you want. But start with that. So for $80,000 a year, that means approximately $6,700 a month that you need to be bringing in to hit your income goal. Does that make sense? So now, once you have those numbers, you can start to break them down based on price point and how many units you sell, whether that's products or clients that you bring in. Because then you can start to look at, okay, well, actually selling 10 packages, coaching packages at $8,000, yeah, I can do that over a whole year. Or selling 100 online, building an online course and selling 100 of them at $800, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Actually, that works really well for me. Or no, that doesn't really resonate with me. I don't want to do online courses, or I don't want to sell something at that price point. If you're going by the monthly model, like Diana does with WIA and like what I do with the collective, then you can focus more on what your monthly income goal is, because you know that that's a recurring monthly payment from your clients or customers. So for example, to hit your income goal, if you have a membership or subscription service at $67 per month, you would only need to have 100 people monthly hooked into your subscription. So there are quite a few different ways that you can structure this. You can break it down to as little or as much as you want. I would just be very open with this process, because you don't want to go into something and say, no, I've seen someone else do this, that's what I want to do too. Explore all your options, see what's out there, and see what actually makes sense for you, what fits you creatively, what gives you the most opportunity to grow your income goal in the future. So yeah, I would highly recommend going in with an open mind, but this is a really cool activity that can really help you start to formulate or solidify in your mind, what are you actually going to be selling? How are you actually going to make money? What does your business actually look like? And what impact do you want it to have, right? Do you want to reach 10 people a year at a very high level and very intimate level? Or do you want to reach 100 people throughout the year on an ongoing basis, offering some other sort of value or whatever, right? So just think about impact and income as you start to formulate your new business idea. But now is a great time to start thinking about, okay, what could it actually look like? Because then the wheels will start turning. And as we kind of work through the rest of the steps today, you'll see how it'll all start to come together.
Yay. So as you see, you already have, well, at this moment, you will have your why, and you will be sure about what's motivating you to establish your business, and you will know about how you're going to start building it. So this is where you will have to check on the resources that you have. And the resources that you may have, I don't know if I'm already sharing my screen, but
you're not.
You see, okay. So the resources that you will have will be personal and external. And this is very curious, because sometimes we don't really know that we already have resources on our hands. Most of the time, and at the beginning of building a business, and Sarah won't let me lie, everything is like a storm, and you get so mortified because there are so many things that we need to do that we actually, of course, want to do them all, but we don't actually know where to start with. So there is where you're going to start checking in with yourself first on your personal resources, and then in your external ones. On your personal resources, you will have, because you have them, your strength, your life, your experience, your own journey, and you will have them there, and you will have the opportunity to check your past in the things that you've done in your life. So for example, let's say that when I was in a corporate world, I was a partnerships manager. So what I did was to establish relationships in between companies. So now, for example, for my business, I knew that creating relationships, meeting other people, introducing myself and my business were going to be somehow easy to do. But I'm terrible in math, and I'm terrible in doing, for example, my website. So in this case, I knew that there were other external resources that I would have to look for. And in this case, the external resources, for example, I know that when we are starting a business, we feel so enthusiastic and empowered that we believe that we are going to be able to do everything by ourselves, and asking for help is something that we, of course, don't want to do. We want everybody to see us succeeding and knowing what we are doing, and everything is great. And in the inside, we are mortified and crying because we don't understand what we're doing. So first thing, to consider is to take this ability of asking for help and take it as a personal resource, so you can actually ask for external resources. Know that asking for help and knowing that you are able to show yourself in a vulnerable situation will help you build your business in an easier and faster way than not asking for help. And the first external resources that you will have, of course, are your family and friends, or teachers, or colleagues at your job. You don't want to spend all your money, because those are also resources. So you don't want to spend all your money in things that you might not need. So check in with the things that you need, and check if, for example, getting that laptop is really something that you need, or instead of that, spending and investing your money in a mentoring program is something that you rather having, like you need to do instead. So those kind of resources which are external are applications, courses, programs, teachers, mentors, people who are going to be able to support you and to show you the path, because you don't have to do this by yourself. Of course you can do it, but it's going to take you longer, and I'm sure that it's going to be more expensive than it should be. And well, last session I shared my experience with building my website, and I want to share it again because this is something that happened to me. I was already working with my clients and coaching, because I've been like volunteering since quite several years before. So when I decided to establish myself as a business owner, I thought on creating my website so I could have something to introduce myself. And I said, okay, so I'm going to buy a template and I'm going to do it myself, because I don't have any money to invest. Or at least I didn't want to spend that money on a person who was going to create my website. Long story short, I bought this little template and I did it myself, and it went well. It was running, but it was ugly, very, very ugly. And my offers were not clear, and the things that I was offering like were not showing up, and they were not looking as beautiful as they would have looked. So there's where I saw that, of course, if I wanted to establish the Worldwide Immigrants Association, I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. And there's where Sarah and I met, and we started working together, because all the help that she gave me made me understand that, of course, I can do something, but if I wanted to look better, if I wanted to look professional, or if I want to show the people around the things that I want to project or reflect to others, I wasn't going to be able to do that. So again, check your resources, check on the things that you have at your reach and your experiences as well. And never forget to ask for help, because that's extremely important for your business.
And that's going to be a learning curve. I mean, we say that ask for help like it's easy, but it's not. And Diana and I are both still learning that there are some things that you just are convinced you can do yourselves. And there comes a point, and we're hoping that you guys reach this point sooner than we did, where you just know that for the benefit of your business, do it right from the beginning and ask for the help at the beginning and make sure that you're getting set up properly. Because it'll save you so much time and money down the road. So definitely agree with Diana on that. And I remember the beginning stages of everything with you. And yeah, no, it's fun to look back at and see how far everyone's come, but you and I both. So
yeah, but you're being so kind. Like you're saying, I remember, like, what a mess, what a real mess.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, absolutely. So now the next step, I believe we're on step 4 now. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So now is all about getting prepared for the actual new life that you're going to have. Whether you're already running a side business and you're already kind of in that weird transition between, like Catherine, like you're working full time and then you come home and you work even more on your business, that's going to be a time where, yeah, you've got to buckle down and you need to go back to your why and dig really deep into that. And then at some point, there is a time where you do leave your full-time job and you go all in on your business. And I've actually recently just had a conversation with a girl about this, because she contacted me. She's like, I recently went full-time and I have no idea what to do with my time every day. She's like, I wake up in the morning and I just look at my calendar and I don't know what to do or what I'm supposed to be working on. And this happens a lot. I mean, I think it happened with me. I feel like I kept myself busy, but that I probably wasn't working on the right things, you know? So yeah, there can be this overwhelm and it can stop you, or it can just have you going around in circles. So I want to talk a little bit about what your new life is actually going to look like and how to prepare for that. So let me share my screen again quickly. Okay, you guys see that? Okay, so wrong slides. So the very first thing that I want you to do, I'm huge on Google Calendars, but if you can just print off like a weekly calendar from like a Word document, whatever works for you, whatever you have available to you, I can actually show you. So for example, you pull up your Google Calendar, the very first thing you want to prioritize, if you're still working full-time, is obviously your full-time job, because that's non-negotiable. That's something you have to go through every day right now. And then if you have a family or if you have other commitments, make sure you block those times off next, because we don't want to, and you should never have to compromise on what your current life is like while you're building your business. There's going to be time for that. And yes, you might sleep a little less. Yes, you might wake up earlier. Yes, you might go to bed a little later. But everything during the day, you have other commitments to people, which Diana was talking about. Don't break those commitments to do this. There's going to be time, and it's totally possible to balance it all. This is just how you do it. So again, prioritize your full-time job first, then prioritize your family time or whatever you have going on. And then you can see what time you have available to actually work on your business. And I strongly recommend dedicating, so say you commit to every day from 7 to 10, those are my work hours for my business every day during the week. And then maybe you add in a Saturday at the beginning, or maybe you're just fine to chip away at it until it's ready to go. Either or, whatever works for you. I would recommend, as you schedule in time for your business, to think about split up your time about 60-40. So 60% of stuff in your business. So whether that's creating product or sending shipments or working with clients or doing client intake calls or whatever it is, 60% focus in your business. And then I want you to dedicate another 40%, the remaining 40%, to working on your business. So this is growth. This is building your website. This is developing your social media strategy or your visibility plan. This is all of the business development stuff that if you get into a habit at this beginning stage, you're definitely going to be better off, because there are a lot of people and a lot of entrepreneurs, this is very, very, very common, that people get so stuck on the day-to-day and working in their business that they have a really hard time taking a step back and working on it. So if you can set up these habits at the very beginning while you're still juggling your full-time job, you're set, you're golden. You're always going to have the strategic view and outlook of your business moving forward, even as you jump into full-time entrepreneurship. Does that make sense? So yeah, and the same applies then when you actually go and you take out and you have full days every day to work on your business. I would recommend dedicating a specific day of the week to something different. So say Monday is dedicated to marketing. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are dedicated to client work or product development or whatever your business is in. Fridays are dedicated to review and checking in on your money and any other administrative things, or you can really kind of play around with it as much as you want. Let me actually show you an example of some calendars that I've done before. I did it a while ago. There we go. So for example, this is what your full-time entrepreneurship could look like. So say you have a very strict morning routine that is non-negotiable, because your morning routine is what sets you up for the day and sets your energy in the right place. So this calendar specifically has 2.5 days of client work, some content creation, and business development. So Thursdays is you don't deal with clients, you focus on working on your business. And Fridays is free. So you can go surfing, or you can garden, or you can go to the farmer's market, or whatever you want. This is a 4-day work week example. I think most of mine are 4-day work week examples. Yeah, pretty well. So is this one, other than having a review session and checking in on your finances at like noon or lunchtime on Friday. Everything else is dedicated to just making sure that you're working on the different aspects of your business. So you can really structure it as much as you want, even if you go into it and just start playing around with it. Obviously, everything in Google Calendar or anything that you write down on paper, it can be moved, it can be changed as you experience things and say, oh, that's not enough time for that, or that doesn't make sense, or I don't do that anymore. Then get rid of it, move it around, do whatever you want. But going in every week with a plan and being very strict on your non-negotiables, if you know that you want to meal prep every Monday night, then make sure you block that time in there, because your business is going to try and suck that away from you. And that's like really negative, but it is going to make you want to work during that time. So make it non-negotiable. Same with this, like this one, this calendar here is very much like my own. So Fridays I try to keep open for gardening and doing stuff around the house and running errands and going kayaking and all that stuff. So I really do try to only work Monday through Thursday. So yeah, you can totally structure this however you want and color code it as needed if you want, because I just love color coding things. But yeah, so play around with it. It's a really cool activity, and it's just to get you used to the idea of what your life's actually going to look like.
And that is so important, because again, I believe this falls into the prioritization of things, knowing how you're going to use your time today when you are preparing yourself to jump into entrepreneurship in full time. And after that, like at the beginning, of course, it's going to be a lot of work, because you're going to be working both things at the same time. But after, when you actually look at that schedule that Sarah showed you, and see that you can actually work 4 days per week, and then you can, separate Fridays or Mondays even to be with your family and to go out for an adventure with all of them, feeling like it's still weekend or something like that, is totally now in your hands. So having all this, I believe Sarah and I understand very well, because both of us are strategists. And even if I am certified as a coach, I love the part of the strategy, because you get ready for the things that you can actually do for you to feel more secure of the things that are going to happen. To my clients, I always tell them that you cannot control what you cannot control, but you can control the things that you can. And this is how you start controlling that change, because unexpected things, fuck ups and stuff are going to happen, and we cannot avoid them. That's part of the learning curve. But having the knowledge that you are actually under control of other things, like your schedule, the priorities, your financial things that are in order, that you know that you're going to save this or that amount of money every month so you can invest on your business. Well, those things are completely controllable, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and easy to do, so you can feel less in the limbo, But I was talking about, well, we went through these steps, and at the beginning I told you that there was another element that I consider is the most important one.
Oh, Diana, wait a second. We missed one.
Oh,
I was just
so
thinking about it.
you still
Yeah.
have
So there is still one. Yeah.
the
Sorry, guys.
sorry. So
Whoops. Okay. Yeah, no, I should have kept going. I jumped back thinking I was done, but I wasn't. Sorry. So yeah, now that we've kind of gotten clear on what your life's going to look like, you've been working on. Hello, Meg. It's like I'm muting you. Mute. Okay. Welcome. We're on step 5 right now. So, we will send out the replay. I don't know why that. Okay, we will send out the replay after, so you can catch steps 1 through 4. But yeah, so step 5 is all about your launch plan. So there comes a point in time when you can do all the planning in the world, but at some point you need to actually take the action. You actually need to put your business out there. You need to start showing up for your business. So at this point, we've kind of gone through, you've been thinking about over the past however long as you've been getting ready to do this, what your business actually looks like. You've been doing little things to start building it and getting it out there, and you've been dedicating time after work to do it, and you've been preparing yourself mentally for this change. How do you actually launch it? How do you get it out there? So let me share my screen again, which I should have continued to do. And the very first thing, and this is something you can start doing almost immediately after you know what your business is going to be offering, is start to build your brand awareness. You want to start talking about it, start showing up, start telling people that this is what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you don't have a name yet. It doesn't matter if you don't have a website yet. All you need to do is start telling people, look, this is something that I want to focus on. This is something that I'm going to be offering. If this resonates with you, let's have a conversation. That's the very first step. So this brand awareness part could have started weeks ago, and you could start to build your audience right away. Kind of a step up from that is that you start growing your email list. So if you set up like an email service with like MailChimp or MailerLite, then you can create a landing page that just has, sorry, this is a lot of technical information that if you guys have any questions, just let me know. But you can set up a page that basically collects emails. So if people have or any questions for you, or they want to keep in touch with you or want to know what you're doing, then you can just send them to this one website page that you can build inside of MailChimp or MailerLite, and just get them onto a list so that you can start to collect emails and you can send them updates as you grow your business and as you start to offer services and sell to them and give them value. So this can happen very early on. And then now it comes down to your action plan. So as you start to show up and get it out there, how do you actually physically make your business live? How do you let people know that it's actually happening? And the very first thing is to tease it. So that kind of plays in with your brand awareness. So you start saying, oh, look, this is what I'm working on or whatever, and you start to collect those emails. And then you can start to reach out to your personal network. So this is what you would kind of call a soft launch. Is to reach out to people that you know, say, hey, this is a service or product that I'm offering. If you're interested, let me know. And you can start to get experience that way. And then when you want to get it out there to the world, then I would recommend running a campaign or a special kind of promotion that has some sort of kind of launch discount or special offer or super bonuses or something to get or to create as much noise as possible. And then, of course, you want to set a deadline for that special offer because urgency is what sells. And then you would launch something at its full price offer. Does that make sense? And this would go through as you run your business and as you get it out there and work on it for a while. You're going to be launching a few things over the course of a year, most likely. So these steps also apply as you've already launched your business and as you're doing kind of mini campaigns. But these also definitely apply as you're first trying to create as much noise as possible at the very beginning, reach as many people as possible to let them know that this is what you're doing. Okay? There you go.
Excellent. And just to complement what you said, it is not about just about services, but also products. And I believe last session we had a person who was in the beauty industry, So I believe this is a great help, because even, for example, maybe she was selling some products like from
I think she said,
multi-level
yeah, it was
marketing.
like skincare, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
skincare. So the same companies have their own launches and their own promotions. So it's extremely helpful for you, because you can actually copy that information and share it to your people. And actually the marketing is already done. While, for example, when you are delivering services, you have to become more creative and know how you strategize your services, etc., etc. So that goes in your plan, and but don't forget about those things as well. So as I was saying before, there's another element that I don't want you to forget about, because again, I believe that's the most important one. Sarah was telling you that at the end, when you are launching your services, you will have to go to your closest network and to offer and to pitch them and to tell them that you have this special thing that you're now offering, and a product or service. And these things are kind of mortifying as well. So a lot of people try to remain very low profile and not even tell their closest people that they are doing this or that, because they're afraid of being judged or criticized or even questioned. So this element is your entrepreneurial mindset. How strong you're going to build that um, brain attitude. So everything that you do, you know that is the correct one, and you're in power of the situation. Because I am not going to lie, feeling lost, insecure, fearful, overwhelmed, or lonely are just some of the emotional blocks that new entrepreneurs have to face when they start their businesses. And I'm not saying this because I want to scare you. It's just totally the opposite. I want you to be ready for this kind of things, because you are going somehow to go through them. But as long as you start growing your mindset and knowing how sure you are of your why, which we reviewed at the beginning, and your priorities, and then you know that the things that you've been working on and building are the best things that you can give to the world, then your mindset is going to grow. Then you will know that the things that you're doing have a purpose and are going to help not only your bank account. Of course you want that, but I believe in this kind of mindset, or most of the businesses are built because they want to help cover a need, or help feel a special experience. Anyway, it doesn't matter if it's going to help your skin or if it's going to help your business to get built. Those things, you have to be very, very sure of the things that you're going to do, because if you don't work on your mindset, the most probable thing is that you're going to quit just 2 steps before you actually reach success. And we don't want you to do that. You have to be very conscious and know that you have it here. That thing that moved you at the beginning to start growing your business, that thing that we call the gut, is going to guide you everywhere. That's your compass. Trust your gut. Trust your talents. Your personal resources are very important. Trust your people and tell them that you are doing this project right now, because sometimes as well, it's part of not asking for help. So instead of asking them to, I don't know, pass this information to another person, or sharing this website, or actually coming and buy or try your products or services, you keep silent, and you believe that someone someday is going to discover your services, and then everything is going to start rolling out. Use the people around you and use your mindset as much as you can to know that everything is possible. The only thing that you need is the strategy to go through your steps in a solid, firm way, so you can actually build your business in a in an easy way instead of feeling mortified of what's going to happen. Those things, anyway, I like, even it doesn't matter if you have 4 years experience or 10 years experience in a business as an owner, insecurities are always going to be there. So the mindset is a muscle. You have to exercise it every single day. So I believe from my side, these are my 3 steps. Sarah was super kind to share with us the other 3 ones. And this is only with our biggest conviction that if you are here today in this call, if you signed up for this training, is that you already have this feeling here and you want to bring it out and make it real. So I'm very happy that you gave us the opportunity to share this with you, and that you're going to reflect a lot after this call, because we know that we sent you a lot of information right now.
We did, yeah. We hope it's not too overwhelming. We know that it can seem that way up front, but like we talked about, with the right guides, with the right support, you really can, it's really not as scary as it seems. The biggest part, like Diana was saying, is the mindset, which we're going to talk about something, a super special offer after we do a quick Q&A. But a huge part of it is about mindset and making sure that you have the mental tools to keep going and to push past the fear and to make those decisions. So yeah, totally agree with everything Diana said. And it's been so fun. And we know that a lot of the advice that we've given today is vague. So if you want custom support and custom help, then just talk with us, because we have something for you. But first, before we jump into that, do you guys have any questions? Has anything come up? No worries if you don't, or if you're working now, because has been a bit longer now, so you're probably off lunch. But if you have any questions at all about anything that we talked about, or if you're going through anything at work right now that you want to discuss or get feedback on, or how to handle a situation, or anything, by all means, we are here for you. So just let us know. I'll just keep talking until a question comes, or until we jump into our special offer for you guys. But
you know, I want to, well, while we wait, I'm going to bring that question that we received last time, that like there was this other person. Oh wow, that's a great question. What do I do? It's the right time to quit. That's from Catherine. Well, I believe it will depend on everything. First of all, you don't have, like, you will know when you quit. You will have to check on the priorities and the circumstances that you're living in your life right now. For example, Sarah had to quit because she wasn't feeling in the right environment, and she was feeling that some things were not ethical. So I believe when everything is bothering your personal environment, like your integrity, of course you don't have to wait more. Of course, do it strategically. And if you're not going to become an entrepreneur, start looking for a job right now, and then when you have it, quit. But those are circumstances that, of course, we would tell you quit immediately. But if you are just thinking about going into entrepreneurship, the right moment, I believe you will know it if you don't guide yourself by the impulse, because impulses are never good. That's why we are here for you, to create this strategy, because while you are working on your business, when you are ready to launch it, when you are ready to make it visible and pass the information to everybody else, then when you are able to start, I don't know, monetizing your project, then that might be the right moment.
And I mean, especially with people in full-time jobs, it's hard to ever actually feel like the right moment. Like, you do always want to trust your gut. And there's always, if you start to really feel something inside of you, you've kind of, there's going to be parts of you that hold you back. Those are your limiting beliefs. That's your mindset stuff. So there's always going to be things. You might get a raise, or you might have another bill that you're like, oh, I'll just work a little bit longer to cover that, and then I'll quit. So there might never actually be a right time. And that's a self-awareness thing where you need to be like, look, I just need to do it or I'm never going to get out of here. So it is really listening to yourself and being aware of the situation that you're in. Sorry,
Yeah.
Vincent just said something too, but do you have anything to add before I read out Vincent's comment?
Yeah, no. So, well, just to add that there might be a lot of information around and telling you, we will show you how to become an entrepreneur in 30 days, and that will be it, and you will build an empire. That is not true. That's not true. I shared this phrase the other day, and I want to share it again. The things that start fast, finish fast. And what we want to do here is for you to build a solid ground where you're going to build something very interesting that is going to last a lot of time, the time that you wish it to last, not under circumstances that are going to bring you more problems than before. If you are, again, if you are doing things out of an impulse, then that's the moment to reevaluate, control yourself, and then ask yourself again, why is this the best moment for me to quit? Why should I stop? Like, why should I wait a little bit more? Why should I do it both at the same time? And you will know the answer.
Okay, so Vincent said, my dream venture is completely out of my comfort zone. I'm a technical guy and my dream is to open a kind of cafe, sports bar kind of place. I've also always had a dream of opening a coffee shop. How would you advise to start working on this dream? Map it out. Get all of your ideas out of your head. Start there. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So get everything that you have in your brain out on paper. And then from there, just start chipping away at it. Whenever you have a free time, look at commercial real estate wherever you want to open it, see what's available, start to build your expectations up about what resources you actually need to open this business. Talk to suppliers or reach out to people who are doing something similar and learn from their experiences. So use this opportunity to not only get everything out of your head and formulate what it actually looks like, but use this opportunity to learn as much as you possibly can about the industry, especially if you're in tech now and you don't know everything about running a restaurant or a bar. Talk to everyone that you can and read as much as you can and really just soak everything in to best prepare you for that. So that's definitely how I would advise starting anyways.
Yeah. And as I mentioned before, and that's why we were very firm on telling you that to check in on your resources, your personal ones, because you already have them. Maybe, for example, if you want to create a cafe for esports, maybe you're already a gamer or you're in that area or circumstances, so you already know about, I don't know, the best video games or who's the market more or less. While you're gaming, maybe you can launch a question to make some market research. So don't ever forget about your resources. Your resources, you already have them there. You already have the experience of gaming, maybe. So go to the platforms where you game and ask questions and use your external resources as well, as Sarah was saying, like go ask other people, go to a certification for, I don't know, like, or go and check on the requirements in the government so you can have all the licenses to create that cafe. If you're going to sell alcohol, if you're not, what does it take? If you're going to, if you need a certification for selling beverages and food. So all these things, you can do them while you go on the bus, going to your office while you commute. You can actually Google that information and keep it. Always keep that information, because that will make you feel like you're going towards your actual project of building that business. So I recommend you, Vincent, to go back to the replay when you receive it and listen to it from your perspective of new entrepreneur who doesn't know anything about this industry of esport and cafe, and start from there.
And like Catherine said too, here you can find a partner that knows more about the industry. Absolutely. You don't need to be in this alone. That said, if you are thinking about partnering with someone for a business, do your due diligence, make sure it's a perfect fit, have something in writing. But that's a totally different conversation. And Vincent says it looks so big for now. And Catherine says everything looks big at the beginning. It's true. And just chip away at it. Honestly, follow all of your questions and curiosities, and it'll slowly build together. And eventually, once you have an idea of what it actually looks like, you'll be able to break down those actions. You'll be able to say, okay, well, I need to find a location. Okay, so then break that down. You need to contact a real estate agent. You need to go to the bank and have the conversation with them. You can break everything down into smaller tasks. Absolutely everything you can break down. So just start there and just, again, brain dump, put everything out on paper. What are these things? What are things coming up that I need to do? How can I break those down? And then give yourself some deadlines to keep you accountable.
Yeah. And as Catherine is saying, everything looks big at the beginning. Think about when you started school, first grade. It's all about perspective. And yes, this is one. Thank you, Catherine, because this is one of the examples that I give to my clients. Like, imagine that you are just born and you are conscious with the conscious that you have already today, and someone arrives to you and tells you, you are going to have a PhD. And you're a baby, like that feels super overwhelming, but you don't think that you have, I don't know, 20 years of preparation to arrive to that PhD. So don't worry about that. I understand that it looks very big at the beginning, but it was for everybody. Like, even if Sarah had knowledge in design and business administration, or even if I had a background of this and that, it doesn't matter. Everything looks very big at the beginning because it's the transition which is looking hard.
Yeah.
The process, sitting down, reading, learning, taking notes, that is not hard. Taking notes, checking in with all the information that you have available, that's not hard. The hard part is to actually feel in the mindset that you have everything in control and you are working on that. So don't forget about it.
Perfect. And again, last comment, which I totally agree with from Catherine. I like to think that everything is possible. We just need to find a way. 100%. I think Mary Forleo has a quote that says everything is figure outable. And yes, as an entrepreneur, something or a resource that you will develop is your resourcefulness. You will realize that you are capable of so many things that you had no idea of, because you're put in a situation where you need to figure it out in order to get to the next step. And you do, and you will. So
yeah,
love it. Love the conversations, guys. And we're so, yeah, you're welcome, Vincent. Cool idea. Actually go for it. I like it.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those here in Montreal. I don't know where you live, Vincent, but here in Montreal, I haven't seen any. Just saying.
So come to Montreal and open one.
Done.
Okay, so now, first of all, thank you guys so much for coming. We do have a very special offer that we want to share with you, because, I mean, Vincent, this would be perfect for you, especially with your situation. And Catherine, too, I believe you said you're still working full-time too, right? So, and working on your business. So let me just share my screen and we'll go from there just to give you all the details, because this is such a cool opportunity and we're so excited about it. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, so how fitting, right? Are you guys ready to go from full-time to freedom? Yes, that's why we're all here. Oh, 1 second, there's a chat.
Yeah. Yes. It's Catherine.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. Okay, so we're so excited to present to you guys a 12-week group program. It is meant to help you build your I Quit strategy and launch your business, or at least chip away and work on your business and make sure that you have the proper foundations for both situations, because it's overwhelming and it's crazy. So if you want to build your business, but you don't have any idea where to start, or if you're afraid of leaving the security of your 9-to-5, which both of us totally understand, if you feel overwhelmed and are lacking focus and direction, and if you don't know how to handle both your full-time job and your dream business, because yes, it is a lot to juggle both, then you're going to want more details about this program.
Yeah. So we decided to create this program and share everything that we've learned with you, helping you build your I quit strategy before you actually quit while working on your own business, which is also something that you're already doing, Catherine. But we are going to go in in strategy mode. So we are going to give you the tools to be able to manage and juggle both your full-time job and your business. And we're going to guide you through all this journey with our own experiences, our personal ones, Sarah's and mine, and our clients, because our clients are our biggest teachers. And I believe having Sarah and I as mentors or guides in this journey is going to be very enriching for you all, because it's not just about knowing the the theory, you know, in the practice, in knowing what other clients have experienced as well. You will have a lot of knowledge.
Absolutely. So everything that's included in this program, like we said, it is 12 weeks long. So not a huge time commitment. We want to make sure that it's high impact, high effectiveness. So you get access to a private Facebook group for the group program, which is a community that's designed to not only support you, but also keep you accountable. So if you're really serious about actually getting this going, then this is perfect for you. So every week we'll do a live coaching or training session. The way we have it structured in the curriculum is pretty much 1 week Diana will talk to you about something in terms of quitting your job, and then I'll do something about starting your business, and we'll kind of go back and forth to make sure that you tackle both at the same time. And then of course there's also supporting material, so the worksheets, the spreadsheets, the templates, and the tools, everything that you need to dive deeper into your mindset to get organized in your business. You get all of that too, which is insane value. And we also have some extra surprise goodies
Yeah.
once you're actually in the program.
And I would love to, sorry, it's because you were saying about like we are going to share with them the 12 live training sessions, etc. But I would love to go through the curriculum.
Yeah.
So first week, so again, it's 12 weeks group program. You will be able to go through all these steps at your pace. We don't want you to rush. We don't want you to feel overwhelmed. We are actually not asking you to fulfill a task for the next session. We want you just to be there and to learn. The private Facebook group is going to stay there forever. So whenever you need to go back to all the material and to all the videos, you will be able to do that tomorrow and in 10 years. I hope it's not going to be in 10 years, please. But yeah, the information is going to stay there. So the curriculum goes knowing your why, then your priorities, your CEO schedule, your brand board, your personal resources, your visibility plan, your external resources, your launch plan, your financial runway, which is extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah is a specialist in Asana, and Asana is a tool and application where you can actually go through all your project management and all your processes, your entrepreneurial mindset, because as I said, that's the most important one, and your next steps plan. So Catherine, you will know there how to recognize when to quit, going through this last your next steps plan. If you are going to quit, if you're going to do it half and half, if you're going to find a half-time job, etc.
And normally this program, as we kick it off, it's an investment of $500, which already is an insane value for what you're getting. So there's a payment plan available as well, which is 3 payments of $197. But because you're here today, because you signed up for this training,
Woohoo! Well, we decided to do it. I love that because, you know, I understand the people who are in the middle of taking the decision of quitting or building their businesses, or what do they do. So we want to help them in this. Let's think about it as our special gift for you to start investing in your business. So this discount that we are doing, which is more or less the 20% discount.
25, yeah.
25. Mm-hmm. It's the money that we're pitching to your business. So you have all the success. So now you have a special price of $375, which is less than $32 per session, with specialists on creating this amazing business of yours.
And again, payment plan on here as well. So if you'd rather break it down and make it a little more accessible to you, 3 payments of $150 as well. This offer is only available to you until August 30th at 10 p.m. So yeah, now is the time, because we're kicking off the program on the 2nd, which is so soon and so exciting. So yeah, we want to make sure that you're in there and getting to know everyone and introducing yourselves before we kick off. So
yeah, so the link is already in the chat if you want to know more about what we are offering and all the structure of the program. Otherwise, you're going to receive again all the information. Yeah, it is a great program, Catherine. Thank you. So you're going to receive all this information again on your email when you receive the replay of this video.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm excited to join. Yay, us too. No, it's going to be great. And yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone that came up. And if you're catching the replay, thank you. We hope that you got value out of this. And we cannot wait to see you inside of Full Time to Freedom, because it's going to be the most epic 12 weeks of your life. So
yeah. I can't wait to be my own boss. You already are. Well, this is very important, Catherine. You're already working in both your business and your job. So think about this. The minute that you decided to start working on your business, you became an entrepreneur already. You already are. You already are your own boss. Sorry. So in this moment, there's the decision of a boss saying, okay, so shall I invest more in this business? So you're your own boss. This is the moment where your boss is taking a decision.
Oh, I love that. Thanks for that, said Catherine. Okay, great. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, again, we can hang around for the next couple of minutes if you want in the chat, or just head on over to the email that you received and just click reply. And again, we'll be sending out the replay with you probably tomorrow. I'll try and get it to you guys today, if not tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much for showing up today, not only for us, but for yourselves, right? And for future you. So
thank you all. It was a pleasure to meet you all. Thank you. And let us know where you are in this adventure of becoming entrepreneurs.
Should we hang out? Should we say bye to everyone? You guys can drop off. We'll just chill unless you guys have questions. I'll stop recording.